What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Today we're going to be talking about the new meta. I asked you guys to do me a favor and turn on the post notifications. So many of you guys did. I actually can check that now on YouTube to see, the viewers that have the post notifications on. Shout out to YouTube for helping with that as far as the YouTube studio, because what happens is I want to see if you guys are ready to go. And this information that you're going to get right now is definitely going to help you to win more games. So I know the game has changed, and a lot of you guys have questions about the way that the AP them adding more to Acrobat, giving the middle linebackers the ability to get lurker for one in certain cases. What does that do to the game? Big nickel being nerfed. Gmia, what am I going to do? All I run is big nickel. Those type of questions are what I'm going to be looking to try to answer for you guys today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. One of the major things that has happened is you either have to, figure out a way to get your middle linebacker involved more, because EA Sports has made it a point to make Sam Mills somebody that should be used in the game. Let me explain what's going on now. We're going to take a look at what's happening, because right now we have inside stuff on him, and I'm going to show you why we have inside stuff on him, and I'm going to also show you the purposes of why EA would reduce certain aspects of the abilities to make him more usable for everybody involved. So now he's 2 with inside stuff, similar to the D tackles or the power rushers on the outside linebacker. And obviously, like I told you guys before, I labbed him with lurker. He does animate, but I don't think it's necessary for the way that the way that we'll use him. I don't think it's necessary. Now, depending on if you play somebody that's under center and you want to run 3-4 and you want to user a linebacker into 3-4, he would be probably the best guy to do it with, because he's super fast. And I don't know if you guys want to go the Deion Jones route and spend coins when you get this guy pretty much for free. So with that being the case right now, what they've done is they've made it so that you would go away from using the strong safeties and use the middle linebacker position. Now, most of the strong safeties right now cannot get inside stuff for 2. So it's forcing you to use the middle linebackers with a decreased amount for the ability to put them into the game. What does that mean for you? How can that impact you? Because Sam Mills is not as big as the other players. They're not, he's not as big as Justin Smith or Michael Pierce. Well, I'm glad you guys asked that. Now, this clip is what I saved from during the most recent live stream. You're going to see what's going on right here. Now, this is just him with inside stuff. That's Sam Mills. Now, he did this all game. I just wanted to share this with you guys to kind of give you guys insight into it, what he's doing. He's throwing that. Do you see what he does? Is that the guard? I think he throws the guard just to the side. You see that? I've never seen that actual animation from any of my D tackles. Usually when they blow up the middle, the guy just moves out the way. It's kind of weird, and then the D tackle runs away from the play with inside stuff. But now what we're seeing is you put it on the middle linebacker, he's tossing dudes. So that is very, very important that everybody understand, how we're supposed to be doing this stuff, what useful capabilities and the ways of how it actually works within your team. Because Sam Mills, most of you guys have grinded MUT Master. Also, let me know. Leave it in the comments. I think my core audience has grinded MUT Master, because I think we do that together every year. I've done MUT Master since it's been created in Madden 15. I think that's something that most of us share. We all have Sam Mills. If you don't have Sam Mills, obviously there are other middle linebackers or linebackers that can get inside stuff for 2. But this is just to give you an insight. Now, this defense is double A gap. They're sitting right there. So this might be the new meta to stop the run. And EA intentionally changed it because they didn't like the way that it was working before. Everybody is audibling down from 3-3-5 normal to 3-3-5 wide. It's outside, the outside linebackers are strong safeties, and it just doesn't really look good for the game. So I think doing this, it opens up more. Now, utilizing Sam Mills as an outright inside stuff player, that is beautiful for him. Because what it does is it opens up all the other uses for your other players. It makes it very easy for you to, kind of surround everything around him. Because usually I would have it on Michael Pierce. And then when we look, let me just show you guys what's going on. Because some of you guys are like, yeah, but Gmia, look at his weight, look at this, look at that. Let me show you something, right? Take a look at what's going on. Sam Mills is 232 and 5'10". Okay, so that he's undersized and he's 232 pounds with inside stuff, getting an animation where he's physically throwing the guard. Now, Michael Pierce, who we took inside stuff off of, let's go ahead and compare that. Just to give you insight of EA changing the meta, all right? 6 foot, 360 pounds. And I've never seen him throw a guard like that, ever. He's never, ever thrown a guard like that. So that's something that should be very, very important for you guys to understand. This meta that they've done, they have now created something to where you can get more success with a middle linebacker with inside stuff as opposed to a guy that's heavier and bigger with inside stuff. So this meta now causes me to make sure that I dictate specifically what you need to do to make sure you're going to be winning these games. There are a few options that you can go with. Right now, when I run double A gap, what I do is Sam Mills is right next to Ronnie Lott. Now, the reason that I use Ronnie Lott is because he's one of the higher safeties, higher catching safeties. So he's really going to drop a pick as opposed to other guys that don't have good catching. He's going to make sure he catches the ball. He has a 90 catch, all right? And that's chemmed up. This is the reasoning behind why he's there as opposed to like Taylor Mays. Now look, Taylor Mays is outdated. I don't know when they're going to update him to give him what he's supposed to have. I really don't know. But pretty much we can probably figure out a few things going forward. Now this guy gets inside stuff for 3. He's a hybrid. And I know some of you guys like, yo, Gmia, wouldn't it be like really OP if you give him inside stuff? Probably, and then take it off of Justin Smith in the 2-4-5, but the 3 AP is going to hurt me because now it takes away pick artists, and pick artists is something that you have to use to counteract the nonsense of bad timing drop user picks. So that's something that you guys can, you know, either way I'm going to be kind of messed up because when I put him in zone, I know he's going to animate because he's a safety, because he's a secondary player. I don't need to really do nothing with him. He can just stay where he's at and he gets this done. If he had it for 2, I would have no problem, giving it to him, but it creates a lot of issues with the rest of the squad. For those of you guys that are gonna be asking that, because I know what happens is once I give you guys info on something, most of you guys rightfully so, what about this? What about that? And I understand that, but the problem is they've raised Acrobat. And Acrobat right now is more essential because EA has made it more essential because when I said, yo, it sucked or whatever, I was over on GutFox's stream, a lot of you guys saw that. All of a sudden, Acrobat still sucks, but it's necessary because your corner just won't do anything. So now with the way that everything is set up, you're looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 14 right here, and then I have pick artists on Derwin James. So would I be willing to sacrifice? See, this is where it gets really, really crazy. Would I be able to sacrifice pick artist? And the answer is no. I don't care because look, that even if you time it perfectly, you're gonna drop a game-ending interception. So now, what is the next option? If we put another middle linebacker next to Sam Mills, we would have to give them lurker. We would not be able to do anything without giving them lurker. Now, another thing that you guys were asking about, what about if you put, like one of your outside linebackers or whatever? Well, these power rusher dudes, I believe they still also get it for 2. So, and they're not going to animate either because they're linebackers. So you have to have a safety in that regard. Like a safety has to be there. The reason that I bring up Taylor Mays is because with his next card, they just might make him unlock it. He's a run support guy. It shows here that he needs a certain amount, but what happens is as it goes further, it lessens and lessens. Right now it's saying he needs 90 block shed. I don't think that he's gonna achieve 90 block shed in the next, the next update. I really don't, because I'm gonna show you his block shed in a second, but I don't think he's gonna achieve it. Let me go back there and go show you what's going on with that. Now, it could be because it's just in the 3rd box and it might need to go over a little bit, but it'll be a crazy jump for him to be able to unlock that. Because right now, his block shed is 80. Would they make him jump 10? You know what I'm saying? It is a year-ending card, but would they give it to him? I don't know. But that would make his card extremely expensive. Because now, if you run double A gap, you can now use him as the other inside stuff. And then when you need to put him in coverage, he's going to obviously pick the ball. Sam Mills is a guy, unless it's absolutely necessary and they're inside of the red zone and about to score, Sam Mills never plays coverage because he will only animate right with lurker. and we don't have the +1 AP to waste at this time. So I'm pretty sure there's other safeties that you guys can use with run support probably that has, you know, inside stuff for 2. I haven't looked into it because I don't want to go out and start spending yet. I'm waiting on specific cards to utilize. Even like Jaquiski Tart, I don't think he can unlock it either. I don't think he has the high block shed yet. I think you have to achieve it the same thing, right? So yeah, you have to achieve 90 block shed, and that's his 3rd box. I don't even know what his block shedding is. Let's check that out as well. Block shedding 78. So like I said, I don't really see EA like jumping on it heavily to go ahead and you know, make these players get and unlock it. But you do need one secondary player in your double A gap, because that one player, when he's in zone, he will animate without the ability of lurker. So that's pretty much the meta right now. Double A gap is more or less one of the better defenses out of everything available right now. It stops the run. You have the, you know, you have the luxury of putting a linebacker there, middle linebacker with inside stuff right over a guard. I've shown you the way it looks, and just to kind of, you know, make sure your thoughts are getting the proper thing, I'll show it to you again. This is a guy based on his weight that is doing a lot better. Okay, that's me getting nano detected. False alarm, dude. Right here, he's throwing guards at 232 pounds. So that's what EA has developed as the meta. You can incorporate that however you like, in any nickel, any dime, whatever you want. You could probably even run like the 4-3, the 4-3-6-1, and have the middle linebacker with inside stuff right over the middle, and he'll probably shoot the gap very well also. But you probably would need lurker because you don't have that safety in the secondary position next to the player. All right, guys, so that's the meta. I will continue to grind this game for you guys. I will continue to make you guys better. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it with me. You guys enjoy yourselves. Be well, be safe. Protection to you and your family. Until next time, one love, y'all.